We are coming to you live from Southern California. We do it every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. As always, I always tell y'all, because I appreciate when y'all reach out. If you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is head over to the John Brown Podcast at gmail.com and we can chitty chat from there. You can write long form emails. You can address about something that you may not want to put in the chat pack. As always, shout out to my folks at the chat pack doing their thing in here early, in here often. Shout out to As Technology. Shout out to me because I was in there earlier. Shout out to Tito. Shout out to Raiders versus everyone. And as people continue to trickle in, shout outs will be given. So much has happened from the last time we spoke to now. Most importantly, the second half of the baseball season got underway. The World Cup finished up. The halftime happened, and a couple of other things happened, but those are things that are not your concern, but they did happen. Shout out to Coach Alex. Shout out to Kicking It with Coach. We're gonna get him on. He's just got to get his internet together. Listen. I know where y'all want me to start. I know where I want to start. But first, I gotta tell y'all, hey man, listen, head over to the John Brown Podcast shop, click on some, purchase some, and help continue to support the show. See me, bam, John Brown Podcast shop right there, boy. Because if you don't buy your own stuff, how can you ask other people to do so? Second of all, the road to 500 has continued. Let me check and see where we at. You know what I'm really bad at, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm really bad at checking how many subscribers I have because I'm so focused on the show and the content and moving that forward more than I am, how many people are. If it's a good product, people will come to it, and that's kind of how I feel about the show. If the show's good, people will flock or find their way to it as we continue to grow. But we're on the road to 500. So shout out to where we are now. We're a little over 300, and we're trying to get to 500. We marched to 300, and now we're on the road to 500. So, as we move, we will grow. Also, shout out to everybody over at the Sporting Tribune. Sporting Tribune, we're putting together a nice little podcast network getting ready to bring it out to y'all for football season and basketball season, fantasy football season, just as a group working and trying to develop this thing and see what we can roll it out to. So shout out to everybody over at the Sporting Tribune. As always, the show is available on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Kick to try to reach as many people as we possibly can to try to show folks different ways to communicate. Now that we did all that, now that we've done all that, look at technology. 51 days until NFL kickoff. 9/9/26. Listen, 9/9/9/26 is like a good day to me. We're going to start talking. Listen, later in this week, we'll start talking football. I kind of want to give, baseball a little last hurrah for the week, but, it'll be around. But we're going to talk about training camps because in California, there are 4 teams. Rams, Raiders, Chargers, 49ers. Seahawks are in San Francisco. But there are a lot of teams on the West Coast. We're counting the Las Vegas Raiders, man, because the Las Vegas Raiders are a huge part of what happens at the Sporting Tribune. I'm on in Las Vegas now, so shout out to all the people at Cofield & Co. So branching out, and so therefore we're going to branch this thing out. We're going to talk about the Raiders on this show a lot now. We're going to talk about the Chargers a lot on this show. We're going to talk about the Rams a lot on this show. We're going to talk about the 49ers a lot on this show. It's going to be a lot of football coverage. Hopefully, I will do my one Cowboy story of the year. because unless I have to talk about them, I don't want to talk about them. But I will do my one media obligated story about the Cowboys sometime in the near future. And after that, I will not talk about them unless I have to talk about them, which means they're playing well. So do what you want with that. But let's get to the stories. So Spain wins this game. And I gotta tell you, as I'm watching this game, as a person who doesn't know much about soccer, I know physicality when I see it. I know people who are fighting for their life when I see it. Argentina, for as great as Messi is, Spain as a team, as a whole, as a part, looked far superior than Argentina. I don't know how to explain that to you. What I can tell you is I saw Argentina take the gloves off, whether it's elbows in the back, kicks at the legs, kicks at the feet, nudges. Some of the stuff in the corner kicks were just brawls. Some of the stuff that was happening on some of these corner kicks were just absolutely knockdown, drag out brawls. I think the referee at this point, until he gave Buddy that red card, I feel like he was just out there. I honestly feel like this referee, whoever his name was, for this World Cup game, the championship game, he was kind of just out there until he gave Buddy that red card because he was out of control. Argentina played such a physical brand of soccer, I had to tip my hat to it. Come to find out now, everybody's saying it was dirty. Okay, you say it's dirty. I say that's fight. I say that's fight. I mean, I didn't want Argentina to win. I wanted Spain to win, and Spain did ended up winning. But man, woo! When I tell you, I thought that there was going to be a fist fight after the game. That's American right there. This is the world's game, but this is y'all in New York, y'all in New Jersey somewhere, wherever the hell they call it, MetLife Stadium now, or whatever it's called. Whatever that is, bro, that fight, what was happening, the shenanigans post game. Oh yeah, that's American right there. That's how you get us over to y'all side. If you want more Americans to watch soccer, make it housewifey. Put some post game speculation into it. It was a lot of non-calls. There was a lot of non-calls. At one point to start that game, I thought that I was watching like a like non-refereed game. Because the players were even though Argentina was playing way more physical, Spain wasn't necessarily matching their physicality. Spain was just kind of like, we know what you guys are. We know what y'all about. We know what y'all about. We're gonna take that, pick the ball up, roll it, let's keep going. Knock them out of bounds, pick the ball up, roll it, let's keep going. But when the Spain kept Argentina from getting a shot on goal for 90 plus minutes of this game, Spain kept Argentina. They kept Messi off the ball for pretty much the entirety of the game. Can you imagine an NBA game being played and you just kept the ball from LeBron the entire game until the overtime? Like, he only touched it to pass it? Come on, dog. Yeah, listen, Soup, I'm telling you, I don't watch soccer enough to know that if they're gonna fight like that when the game's over, oh, that's American, I'm in. What you mean? And the soccer, now let me put this on the screen. Because Soup says, tell me you don't watch soccer by not telling me. Come on, Browner. There are plenty of fights. Bro, a soccer fight is not a fight. Come on. Now let's slow down for a second here. The scuffles, we call those, in the sport that I play, we call those scuffles. You can't tell me those are fights because, I do dabble in hockey, believe it or not. I dabble in a little hockey. Those are fights, buddy. What we were seeing post game, those were good, solid. Those are fights. No fist thrown, but guys being physical like that, pushing each other, choking each other, going for the throat. That I consider that when you go for somebody's throat, that's that's a fight. But to say that they are soccer fights, and because during the game, that's not fighting, buddy. I haven't seen a fight in a soccer game. I've seen a bunch of dudes go down. I've seen a lot of guys go catch the sniper bullet. Oh, I've seen a lot of that. But these dudes ain't out here throwing elbows to the face. These dudes ain't out here throwing hands like that. So when I say I saw really hard soccer being played, 100% on my half, man. I went into the championship game expecting to see a level of high class speed, just like what we have seen overall from the tournament. I did not get that, but I got something else just as good. I got a knockdown, drag out dog fight, big dogs. Row, 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 row. Shout out to Spain, man. Spain came ready. Spain outplayed them. Spain 100% outplayed them. At one point, I think this was in the second half, they didn't score on this, but they made a run, but it was like a unison run. You know how in the Mighty Ducks, I guess that's the only way I can compare this. You know the Mighty Ducks, the movie, the Mighty Ducks, the kids movie, the original one. They did the flying V, and then they score in the end. At one point, Spain made a series of passes, maybe 6 passes, I think, maybe 7, maybe 6, 7 passes, where it was poetry, dog. Bang, 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 bang. It was like, yo, they didn't score on that play. But they had so many opportunities to score. You knew eventually they were going to score. I never felt like Argentina was going to score in this game. Spain did a great job of keeping them out of the box. Spain did a great job of having control of the ball, and it felt like when Argentina got going in the overtime, it had a feel of that inevitability to it, where okay, here comes the pressure. They're gonna score. They're gonna score. But Spain kept that cool, man. They didn't let none of the dirty play get to them. They just kept playing. They just kept playing, and it ultimately ended up outplaying them, outclassing them in the end, and kept that cool throughout even the fight period. Because Buddy from Argentina was fighting with the reserves, bro. He ain't had no smoke with people on the field. He out here fighting with the dudes who got too much energy because they didn't even play. They didn't even play. The coach once told me, if you ever get into a fight with somebody on the bench, I'm never playing you again. If you ain't playing hard enough, if you got enough energy to fight with somebody not in the game. He said, you can talk all you want, but if you ever get into a physical altercation with somebody who not in the game, son, you ain't never playing for me again. And I never let that go. I never let that go. And again, I was the type of person, I would foul people hard. I was a shit talker. It was part of my game. But after that, bro, I didn't say nothing to anybody who didn't play. Nothing to anybody who didn't play. Other than who are you? Did you play? Did you get in the game? Did you get in the game when I was in the game? Oh, then go on somewhere, man. Go on somewhere, man. That's how I treat people on the internet. That's how I treat people on Instagram who come in my comments with that crazy shit. Who are you? Blocked. Blocked. Same thing. Coach says, that's when soccer is exciting, JB, when the ball is moving fluidly and players are dynamic. That's why they call it the beautiful game. Yeah, man, this transition that they made at one point in the second half, Spain made a succession of 6 passes. It looked as if it was like telepathic, dog, the way the ball was moving. Bang, 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 bang. Now, this is the best team in the world. That's all. Soup says, what? That exact mentality is why I ignore Graham. He's not in the game. No smoke. Wow. Leave Graham alone. He ain't even here yet, bro. Wait till people show up before you talk crazy, Soup. Let folks show up. But yeah, man, I this was by far this was the World Cup for me that I will remember this World Cup going forward. Like Kylian Mbappe winning the Golden Boot, that's awesome. The Saturday game was more entertaining from a soccer perspective than the Sunday game. But at the end of the day, the trophy was given away on the Sunday game. Also, by the way, let me throw this out here. I should have put some money on Spain. You know why? I knew Spain was in trouble when Donald Trump picked them. I knew Spain was going to be I knew Spain was going to have the odds in their favor when Donald Trump picked Argentina. They asked Trump, who don't know nothing. Trump know less than I know about soccer. He's trying to explain to people, oh, hey, there. And Graham enters the chat. Trump's trying to explain to people about how good Messi is and said, oh, he's not picking somebody, but he's supporting Argentina or something to that effect. When he said that, I knew they were cooked. I knew they were cooked. I knew they were cooked the second Trump picked them. So yeah, it was a beautiful game, man. I like some dirty play. I like some physical action. Yeah, man. Graham, you must have enjoyed Saturday because England was off the chain. I love a little physicality in the game, man. I really do. And Spain met their physicality with skill. Spain met their physicality with teamwork. This Spain as a team, like a lot of people made a lot out of the 19-year-old kid, Lamine Yamal. I think that's how you pronounce it. A lot of people made a lot out of this kid playing. Me, on the other hand, he was good, but he didn't appear to be, to me, better than anybody else out there. He got the juice, he got the attention because he was 19. But at the end of the day, I don't think any player on their team really was that much better than anybody else. I thought as a whole, they were unbelievable. As an individual, they didn't have anyone close to Messi. They didn't have anyone close to, let's say, a Jude Bellingham. I didn't think they had that kind of talent on their team, but every single one of their players were good. And to me, that's almost better in a sport like that you have all your players be high caliber players, as opposed to having one legendary guy who can make things happen. But no shade to Messi, dog. He looked a little tired. And again, I don't know that to be true. But if you're Argentina's done a great job getting him the ball all tournament, getting him in places to score, or making sure he did the corner kicks. And by the end of the game in the overtime, he was doing all the corner kicks. Where he's in place, making it easy for other people to become a playmaker, to put goals in the net. That's what he started doing. And not in this game. Not in this game at all. So to me, I thought he was really tired. He looked tired, not tired in the sense of he was tired of the shit, just like exhausted. The last two teams had great game plans for him. They smothered him. They kept a body on him. And because, again, he's a slight guy. He's not a big guy. He's a small guy. And over time, it just looks like game after game after game, the better the teams got, the better their plan was against them, the more physical they were against them. Everybody just started to wear them down. And it looked like at the end, their game plan plus their physicality, Spain's legal physicality, just, got the best of him. It got the best of him until it got to the end. He's like, okay, I got 10 minutes in me. Let's see what we can do. Because Argentina they weren't a stranger to being down at all. And so when they started coming back in the end and started feeling like they were going to score, That felt familiar to me as watching Argentina through this tournament. But Spain, man, after that early bad game, lights out. Absolutely lights out. They deserve to be champions. And again, the team, Spain as a team really showed the level of caliber player they had at every position. Now, their goalie never got tested in this game because Argentina's goalie, maybe coach can help me out with this. The goalie was getting credit for stopping shots that they weren't really like, those weren't good shots. They were shots, but they weren't like smoke jobs. Like he probably had 2 saves where I was like, whoa, that's a great save. But for him to record it the most saves in I think it was a World Cup final, for him to have done that, those weren't great shots, I thought. I really didn't think those were great shots. I really didn't. A couple of them were like, oh. Most of them were like, oh, he didn't get all that. Oh, he was trying to angle it this way. Oh, he didn't get his footing. So they would all seem like very simple stops. That last one, nobody was going to stop that last one where they actually scored. And then they should have scored again, but the guy was offsides by like inches. Yeah, see that. Coach says many of them were right at him, but some of those parallel dive outstretched were dope. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had some good saves, but the majority of the saves were like balls where he just caught him, went to the ground. But we didn't get a chance to look at Spain's goaltender because they didn't get no shots, bro. For a team of Argentina's caliber to not get any shots on goal to like literally the overtime, for Messi to pretty much get very little to no touches until the overtime, got to take your head off to him, man. You really do got to take your head off to him. Shout out to shout out to him. Shout out to Argentina for playing hard. Shout out to Spain for winning the thing. Great World Cup. They got a new fan. Couldn't have asked for better. Couldn't have asked for more, man. As always, we're part of the Sporting Tribune here, man. So like and share, comment, share. As always, we're also on the road to 500. So subscribe to the show. If you're new to the show, I'm John Brown. This is the John Brown Podcast. We come to you Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., giving y'all sports takes on what we saw and how things went down. Now, let's talk about the World Cup halftime. All right, if you're in the chat here, Crystal Davis, we're going to talk about this at the end. She said, okay, listen, Crystal Davis says off topic. The new Avengers Doomsday trailer looks fire. We'll talk about that in a second. So let's have a conversation about the halftime show. Because we just did like 15 minutes on the World Cup game. Now, help me understand something. So these Korean kids, I sound like an old man. These Korean kids, okay, Justin Bieber, Shakira, and I don't know where the hell they got Madonna from, but put her back. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. So you mean to tell me, of all the global people making music, y'all just Madonna? Huh? I really don't understand. I really don't understand what's going on here. So Madonna, B2K, I always call them B2K. What the Korean kids, K-pop, S12, whatever the Korean kids numbers is. I don't really get them. Okay, I see. For me, I'm 40. I'm 44. I'm about to be 45. I've seen the boy band thing before. Having Koreans do it, I was already mad when NSYNC was basically stealing all of New Edition's moves, bruh. Like B2, I did say B2K, my bad. I don't know those kids' names, man. I always call them B2K, but that's on me. I got to do better. So, if you're in my age range, so if you're 40 to 45 or older, you saw, okay, New Edition. You saw that whole New Edition craze. You saw NSYNC, you saw that entire wave. And now you doing K-pop, which is basically the NSYNC era of music, which is basically the New Edition version of music. See, if you know New Edition, if you know Mr. Telephone Man, that's all this shit is, man. That's all this. That's all this. Can somebody please tell me the name of this group? That's all this shit is. It's Korean pop, bro. This K-pop. That's all this is, dog. This fucking New Edition, and Korean rapping. So people love it. I'm good, man. I seen this already. It's my third. I'm old enough to now. This be my third iteration of pop music, man. This my third go round. I was around for 98 degrees, bro. NSYNC. Who the other one? It was two groups at a time. It was NSYNC, and then it was the Backstreet Boys. Yeah, Backstreet Boys. So NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 degrees. You know, B2K, 112. I get 112 wasn't really pop. 112 there were no dance moves in 112. But bro, I have literally seen that progress from New Edition doing it to NSYNC doing it. I'm only naming the best people to do it. New Edition, NSYNC to now these K-pop kids, bro. I seen this already. That doesn't do nothing for me. And then Justin Bieber come out. So for this to have been the World Cup, I get it. I get it. It's the World Cup. Oh, Boys to Men. But Boys to Men didn't dance, Juliana. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about people who dance, who with their movements. Like New Edition danced. No, maybe go all the way back to Jackson 5. I don't need to go back that far. I didn't watch Jackson 5. Candy Girl. Listen, I'm telling you, don't get me started in here. What I'm saying is this. This is my third iteration of pop music. And you know, this version of it. It's getting worse every time. Because what the K-pop thing is, it feels stolen. But that's just me. And then maybe this ain't I'm not the crowd for it. I'm not the demographic they're going for. Okay, because I see the people screaming for these kids, and I'm like, okay, cool. Whatever. But my point being, then they bring out Justin Bieber, who I don't have a problem with Justin Bieber. I like Justin Bieber, actually. He's matured. Unfortunately, we watched Justin Bieber grow up, and we've seen him in many stages in his life. And Justin Bieber's got a lot of music, brother. You should have chose a different song. The world is watching you. You gonna give me something slow, dog? You gonna give me something slow? I don't want nothing slow at that point. I don't want nothing soulful. I want something fast. I want something energetic. I want some upbeat. Because then here comes Shakira. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is the Shakira situation, bro. I know Shakira. What's up, Biggie? I know Shakira with 50, dog. Shakira 50. She's tiny too, but Shakira 50. So hear me out when I say this. Because Shakira is 50, moving like that, that's A+. I'm almost positive she's 50. Hey Siri, how old is Shakira? So, because Shakira is 49 years old. Buddy, Shakira 49 years old. 49. Still moving like that. So if you gonna come out, Justin Bieber, bro, you gotta come some energy. I don't need soul at the World Cup halftime, dog. This is a collection of world talent. This is a collection of the world's best music. Somehow we ended up with Madonna out there. So that old whole act is over with. I'm sorry, man. Whoever keep booking Madonna, stop. Stop, bro. Please. At this point, I would rather see Dolly Parton. So you go from Madonna to the Korean kids to slow ass, sad ass Justin Bieber which again, I don't know the song. So, maybe that's one of his biggest hits. I never heard of it. And if you only get one song, dog, that's the song you want the world to see you play. But okay, whatever. And then you go into Shakira, who basically with her energy, her dance moves, all those kids, bro, she stole the show. She 49. Shakira 49. Boy, she look amazing. So I would give the halftime show overall, I give it a C. I give it a C. It wasn't great. I wasn't very familiar. Listen, again, the Madonna thing started off with an F. I know some of y'all really like. I know some of y'all really like Madonna. F. F. She can't move, dog. She got a big old fake tuchus, as Scott would say. She got a big old fake booty. So I'm good. I'm good. So again, Madonna F. The Korean kids, I gave them a C, just because I don't know their music, but they seem cool. Justin Bieber gets a C minus because I like him. If he was a nobody, I'd just give him an F. And then Shakira gets an A plus. And I think those kids who she had dancing with her, so these kids on the internet went viral from these South African kids dancing. They went viral because they were living in like a super poor village, just out there moving and grooving. And so, they put the kids in there. So the dance moves were great. Shakira was great. The Muppets were great, dog. Shout out to the Muppets for making an appearance because, America. As technology say, I missed the whole halftime show. Seems like I didn't miss anything. If you'd called Shakira at the end, you'd have called something cool. That was pretty cool. But other than that, nah, man, you ain't missed that. Old ass Madonna out here letting people fill her up. Just like, ugh. Oh, ain't you 6? Hold on. Hey Siri, how old is Madonna?
Madonna is 67 years old.
Ain't no goddamn way. Madonna, 67 years old out here letting people fill her up and dance. Get that old hoe act out of here, man. We good. They got some young hoes they could have thrown out there. Still let them get felt up on the world stage. Gonna get your old ass out of here. Yeah, man. So I get a halftime show a C. I get a halftime show a C. It wasn't terrible. I thought of any place that needed some Bad Bunny. This was a place that needed some Bad Bunny, man. If you would have swapped out, okay, well, now let's do this. Now let's make it a perfect halftime. If you would have had Drake to start the show, and then you take out Justin Bieber and you put in Bad Bunny, now you got a show. Because you need Drake to come in initially, build the energy of the show up, and then you switch to the Korean kids, and then you switch to Bad Bunny. He put the energy back up, take it up another level, and then Shakira come in, and then she closed the show with the dance moves and all that just 49-year-old goodness. Bad Bunny definitely should have been involved in this. I get it; they don't know who's gonna win it, but it's the world's game, bro. Look at it. Look at Soup. Look at Soup. Soup, you tell me how old you are, bro. You telling me that you can tell I don't watch soccer because I don't know nothing about their fights. For you to say the hate on the material girl is no bueno. Not like they ran Dolly Parton out there. Bro, they could have. They're the same age at this point. They moved the same. What you mean? But there was no country music out there, by the way. That goes to show you how that genre is doing around the world. But, bruh, stop it with this Madonna shit, man. The fact that you out here still call her the material girl. No. 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 So, and to close this out and move on to something else. Madonna at the World Cup. Again, Madonna at the World Cup. The Korean kids. Justin Bieber. Oh, buddy, that's enough of that. Enough of that, Biebs. And Shakira. So yeah, I didn't hate it, but I wouldn't tell somebody to run and watch it if you missed it. Now, could we? I really don't feel obligated to talk about this, but let's get this out the way. So the Padres played again. They back. They playing like they never left. This is I. They had 19 runs yesterday, which is good. Don't get me wrong. But that's after getting beat 7-6 and 6-1. So they keep they keep the 2 out of 3 train moving, man. I don't really we got another home run from Tatis, so that's great. In yesterday's game, we got 2 home runs from Jackson Merrill, which is again, that's something that I'm more likely calling for going forward if they're going to have any attempt at making any type of playoff run or being respectable to close this thing out. Manny's still under 200. Jackson Merrill with the 2 home runs, he had 222. You know, Bogart's at 223, but that ship done already sailed. It was nice to see them leave Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City is not an awesome place, but it's nice to see them leave Kansas City with a win, man. Because I don't rolling into Atlanta. Now, there have been some people on this show who have said, "Oh, the Atlanta Braves, the Padres played great against the Atlanta Braves." Boy, do they need it. Boy, do they need it. What's that? What's that? She wrote in a side by side and then took 2 steps. Can you really cut it? I know you can't. You can't. That's fair. That's fair, David P. That's absolutely fair. No, you cannot call that a performance. Uh Soup says, "Can we rate Captain Orange?" See, I fell behind on these, man. Uh but you need to buy whoa. We need to buy what? Graham. We need to buy what? Who is we and what are we buying? What do you mean? We can win the World Series with this. See, this is what a troll. This is how the troll rolls, y'all. See, he's trolling the community right now. For people listening on the pod, Graham comes in with consecutive comments. We need to buy now, which puzzles me, and then follows that up with we can win the World Series with this lineup. See, you have to know when somebody is trolling you. So he's probably trolling Soup, because bro, there ain't no way, bro. See, I knew it. See, I okay. B Thompson says Stammen needs to be fired. Damn, B Tom. Stammen needs to be fired. He doesn't know how to manage a team, let alone a damn game with the lead. Bro, this is not losing 2 out of 3 and finish. See, now when you finish the run, you scored 19 in the third game. So now at the 7-6, so the 13 that they put up, so they put up 15 total runs. You outscored them for the series by a lot. By a lot. So in the series, the Padres had 26 runs. They had 26 runs in this series. So on paper, when you look at the series when it's over, it's like, okay, yeah, this wasn't, they just a little tuck here. Look, no, bruh. No. They came right out of the All-Star break with the same stupidity, with the same mismanagement, with the same, inability to hit the ball, just right back where you left off. And that's just not what you want, man. It's just not what you want. They gave you the Padres special. That's what the Padres special is. Okay. The Padres special looks a little something like this. You lose a close one. You follow that up by getting the doors blown off you 6-1. And then you win another game in some really high scoring fashion. If you think I'm making it up, against the Diamondbacks, they lost 3-1, won 10-4, lost 8-0. Against this is the last couple of series they played. Against the Dodgers, lost 12-7, ended up winning the last game 5-2, lost 3-0, lost 4-3. You see this pattern? Against the Cubs, 23-3, 9-7, 3-2. Against the Dodgers again, the 13-game stretch I talked about. 4-2, 15-3, and they win 7-1. There's a pattern. They play with a pattern. They really do play with a pattern. So at the end, it doesn't look as bad. If you look at it in totality, I was like, okay, well, the stats, bro. If you're watching this team, it's just irritating. It really is. Let's look at Graham. Graham is subliminally attacking Soup. This is hilarious. So I do y'all really think this is on Stammen? Y'all really think this is on Stammen? These dudes can't hit. Again? This is what you knew would happen when you hired Craig Stammen. You knew he was going to learn on the job. Craig Stammen is going to lose you some games. Period. Point blank. End of story. It's not. That's not up for conversation. By the way, new Last Island logo coming. Probably by tomorrow. New Ass Island logo coming. I thought I was going to be able to debut it today, but you know, AI. Uh, Soup says yes, it's on him for his part of the job, but you hired the guy who you knew would have to learn on the job. So learning on the job means mistakes on the job. If you are a player, you're going to make an error. If you are out here playing, if you playing basketball and you learning on the job, you're going to make a turnover. Mitch Johnson for the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals, learning on the job. So if you hire Craig Stammen, if the upper management hired Craig Stammen, you hired Craig Stammen knowing that he would have to learn on the job. You surrounded him with people you should have given the job to, Ruben Niebla being one of them. Bud Black, I think, being around the building is another one. Again, we talked about you should have given the job to Albert Pujols, learning on the job. Totally get it. But you gave the job to Craig Stammen with the understanding that there will be some mistakes. Period. So if you're now here telling me that you want to fire Craig Stammen, then that means that y'all want to fire AJ Preller too. That's just because Crystal Davis says, well, yes, Stammen can't play in a game, but he does call a bad game. He doesn't know what to do. But that's what they hired the guy who didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do when they hired him. He didn't have any previous experience. So these losses the Padres are getting, you guys know they knew this was going to happen. You guys had to know this was going to happen. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying, man. This idea that Craig Stammen was going to get everything, not even everything right, but Craig Stammen's errors won't be glaring. We knew this. We knew this was going to be a case of there were going to be some games lost where Craig Stammen did the wrong thing. But then we always say, he's not really managing the team. Someone else is pulling the strings. So to me, this is on Craig Stammen. No doubt some of this is on Craig Stammen. But Craig Stammen's not making $300 million hitting below 200. Craig Stammen's not making $300 million hitting below 220. Like, he said glaring is an understatement. David P says, seems like he's okay with being 500. We need a manager with some fire, especially in the back half of the season. Well, we just getting started in the back half of the season. I don't know what difference do you guys expect to see? Because I guess I'm confused at some of you guys being, not shocked, but disappointed by this. Some of you guys seem genuinely disappointed by this. He doesn't know what he's doing. If with the payroll, let's stop saying them players. With the payroll that you have, you should be better. I'm talking about hitting the ball. Hitting the ball, we should be better. Hitting the ball, the Padres should be better. Pitching, obviously they got the injuries. They're doing what they can from a pitching standpoint, but man, Lock it. Look at Aztec. Lock him up. Give him an extension now. Biggie says every manager in the league loses at least 20 games by making a wrong decision, and that's every team every year. I mean, listen, here's another. Sorry, Biggie. Look at the Giants. Look at the Giants. The Giants have an experienced collegiate manager. Managing in the bigs and managing at college can't be that big of a jump. It can't be. That guy's got championship experience. The Giants are struggling. So baseball is the sport where the manager has the least amount of impact. The manager has the least amount of impact in all of sports. Football has the most. Basketball has the second most. Hockey's somewhere mixed in there. You know, pit crew is higher up on the list than manager. It just is. And that's why you can hire a guy with no experience. That's why you can hire a guy who nobody was trying to hire. That's why you can hire a guy that, is in some Hall of Fame resume. That's why you can just hire a guy. They just hired a guy, man. They just hired a guy who they liked in the organization. AJ Preller, my knock against AJ Preller, and y'all know I'm a fan, is his managerial hires are terrible. The AJ Preller's managerial hires are awful. All of them. All of them have been bad. Whether it be Bob Melvin not wanting to stay, whether it be who was the little guy? Chase Tingler. Like, all of them have been bad. I don't know. Again, we don't know if Craig Stammen is in there, but of this iteration of the Padres, this is the worst they've been on a first-year manager. So I don't know, man. I mean, hopefully they'll come out against Atlanta and get a win tonight. Hopefully. But I'm not holding my breath, man. I'm really not holding my breath. Good show. Good conversation. Grim, he didn't even want the job. Yeah, Graham, he didn't want the job. Sometimes he manages like he wish he was somewhere else. Sometimes Craig Stammen manages like he wish he was back in Indiana. Sorry. And Ruben Niebler's just sitting there going, boy, y'all paid me more for this. Soup says, at least the Giants manager can coach his way in situations. Yeah, probably. Biggie, the Giants fan, said the Giants manager made some bad decisions as well in extra innings. You bunt the runner to third with no outs, and then he lets him swing away and didn't score and lost because the other team bunted and won. And again, everybody's got one or two. Everybody's got one or two. But it seems as Stammen's losses due to lack of experience are piling up. Piling up, man. All right, y'all. Let's come back here tomorrow, do the same thing again. Love y'all. Take care. Peace.